I'ma lay him down like he in a line.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Amaan.
And I'm Reyhan, and
And
welcome
this
to
is
the Rajpod. Oh my god. Okay.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Amaan.
And this is Reyhan.
And this
This
is
is
the
Rajpod.
Rajpod. This is episode 4.
Yep.
So we'll start off when you have.
So, thank you guys for the support on the last video. That was amazing. We hit past 500 views, a lot of likes and subs.
Yeah.
It was just incredible.
Good stuff.
But we also have a Discord that we'd like you guys to join. We have our Instagram.
It would be right here. We
Yep.
have at the Rajpod on Instagram, at the Rajpod on Twitter, and then for the Discord.
We'll send a link in the description for that.
Sounds good.
And we also will be starting a 2v2 league after COVID. And if you guys want to sign up, which we already have enough, but if you want to be in the waiting list, if anybody cancels, then that'll also be linked in the description for that. So let's get started with the actual basketball
All right,
stuff.
let's do it. It's
NBA
been a
season
week, man.
started.
It's been a week.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we've been watching a lot of basketball recently. Christmas Day was great. Opening Day was great. So we're gonna get into it.
I wouldn't say Christmas Day was great.
Yeah,
Too
there were
many
a lot of
blowouts.
There were a lot of blowouts, but it was fun to watch definitely all day. So
Yeah.
good stuff. So let's
Basketball's
get into
always
it.
fun.
Yep.
So the first thing we want to talk about, sorry for John Morant. He sprained his ankle.
Yep, it's a high ankle sprain. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. It actually looked really bad. The way he hopped off that ankle
Yeah.
was kind of hard to watch. But hopefully he'll be back up and ready to go within the next couple of weeks and ready to try to get them into that 8th seed or 7th seed.
Yeah.
So he was playing well before he left.
Yeah, 27 points, 7 assists. It was just incredible to watch.
Yeah, he was playing really well. A really athletic young player. You don't want to see an injury happen, especially with that kind of skill set. So hopefully he'll be back and ready to go soon.
Yeah. And then we also had another injury, season-ending injury to Spencer Dinwiddie, which also sucks for the Nets and for him especially, because he wasn't having like a breakout season, obviously, with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but he's still a cornerstone or like a corner piece nonetheless.
And a big trade piece. This is going to hurt a lot of the chances to get James Harden in a deal if Spencer Dinwiddie's included in that trade, because the injury, it's just not. You can't make a trade without exactly knowing what's going on there. So it's going to be hard to get a deal done, especially with him injured.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. And then we have Kelly Oubre Jr. So, Kelly Oubre Jr. Last couple days has
Balling out.
been, balling out, but airballing, actually.
Yeah.
Airballing out, we could say. He went 0 for 17 from 3 in the last couple of weeks, and he finally hit a 3.
Incredible.
So we want to give a round of applause to Kelly Oubre Jr. for finally hitting a 3.
1 for 18,
Congratulations.
man.
1 for 18 on the season.
That's
So
incredible.
congratulations for that.
Yep.
So now we got our main segment here. We're going to go into some NBA teams and how they've been looking the last couple of weeks.
We're going to scale them 1 to 10.
Mhm.
So let's start with the best team in the league statistically, the Magic, which is a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Even though they have been playing really well. What's your ranking for them?
I put them, or our ranking for this will be a scale from 1 to 10. I put them at an 8. I'm really liking how they're looking offensively, scoring 110 plus points a game. They did play some easier teams. They played Jimmy Butler with him hurt that game.
Yeah.
They played the Thunder and they played the Wizards twice, which are both teams that have not looked good. To start the season. Markelle Fultz, they just recently signed him to a good extension. He's been looking good. He's
20
averaging
points.
20 points a game. So
It's been nice.
Yeah, for sure.
So is Evan Fournier.
Mhm.
I actually gave them a 9 just because, like, you can't go the 4-0 can't go unnoticed.
Yeah.
In this, like, they've been beating Miami, even though without Jimmy Butler they haven't really been anything.
Yeah.
It's still a good team.
Still a talented
nonetheless.
team, yeah. And Nikola Vucevic is also looking really good. He had 28 the other night. He's been playing well as usual.
Yes.
Hopefully he'll be an all-star this year, and the Magic will be looking again to get in that 8th seed.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to watch the Orlando Magic this year.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Atlanta Hawks. What did you rate them?
I ranked them a 10. Their offense has just looked beyond amazing. They've scored almost 120 plus every single game. But my one problem is that they've given up 100 points plus to every single team they played. And these are bad teams. You had the struggling Bulls in the beginning of the year. You had the Pistons. It's like teams that you should not be giving that many points to. You're giving up so many that it's like your defense just looks horrible. And then watching that Nets game in the beginning, they gave up like 40 points in the first quarter, which makes sense. It's a good team, but at the same time, it's just not something that's ideal for them.
I know a lot of people really like the offensive output they're putting out. I gave them an 8. I do enjoy watching Trae Young play at an MVP caliber level.
Yes.
I think he's going to have a breakout season. I do think he is looking at that MVP award and
I
is
find
chasing
him
it.
doing that.
I think he definitely could, but they have played some easier teams, and defensively it's just been a mess. So I think in this league you do have to have a good defense, especially down low, to stop guys like LeBron and stop guys like Anthony Davis and all the bigs they signed this year. So it'll be tough to see how far they can go.
Yeah.
Just because of defensive liabilities.
Yeah, and
So-
Trae Young and John Collins were not great defenders last year either, and that's also one of the reasons why they didn't make the playoffs, because they didn't have that help around Trae Young, and they didn't have that good defense, so they just couldn't stay in games if they got, their offense was struggling. And that's when they have this overwhelming offense as their best defense, which is risky, and so far has been working, and this Nets game is going to be a test of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works out. I want to see them win a championship if it's not the Bulls.
Yeah, the Hawks are definitely looking like a good team this year.
Yeah.
For sure. Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets. We both gave them a 9 for this. They're looking good. It's more than what you would expect off of two really good players coming off of injuries.
Yeah.
Did not think they would be ready to go this early, but they're looking good. They blew out the Celtics. Kevin Durant is balling. Kyrie Irving is balling. Both good efficiency, moving the ball around. Obviously, you have the Spencer Dinwiddie injury, but they're looking good overall.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm disappointed in them for is that lost to the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you have Spencer Dinwiddie out, you still shouldn't be losing by 10 to a team without their best player.
No, that's factual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for sure. Next up, we have the Washington Wizards. So we were a little different on this one. You want to start?
I wanted to say that the Washington Wizards are 0-4. They're trying to win with a prime Bradley Beal, and you got an old guard looking for a championship in Russell Westbrook. And you've built this team trying to win now, yet you're not winning now. And this isn't a tank season for them. This is like last straw with Bradley Beal, which would make sense if Bradley Beal wants out, because you have had him for so long and you haven't done anything with him. He's probably pissed at this point. You saw him not really excited on the bench. So you gotta pick it up. If you're Washington, if you're watching this, you gotta pick it up because you just don't have enough time.
Yeah,
you don't.
I gave them a 2, or sorry, I gave them a 6 because I do like the way Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal look in a backcourt together.
Yeah,
I think it will translate to wins in the future. Roy Hachimura is also a big piece for them. He's been out. I think he's going to have a breakout year this year, coming off his rookie season in which he looked very good. The rookie should be picking things up soon. He can shoot the ball. He's a good playmaker. He can defend if he wants to. He's got the athleticism to do that.
Yeah.
So I think they will pick it up, get it together. They have the shooters to do it. They have the rebounding to do it. Defensively, capabilities are a little iffy, but I do think they can be a playoff team, and I do think that within the first 4 games of the season, it is hard to judge, especially with no training, or not like a real training camp, and not off-season workout programs to get them ready. They had 1 month of free agency, and Russell Westbrook was traded halfway through it. So you don't have too much time to kind of connect, get the chemistry together, stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. But I definitely do think that they'll pick things up.
And you can tell because their percentages have been horrible. Like 3-point percentage was slow in the beginning, and now their free throw percentage is dropping too. So just these struggles. Hopefully they get it done before the end of the season, because I'd like to see them in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a fun team to watch.
It is.
Yeah. All right, next up we got the Toronto Raptors, currently sitting at 0-3. Not looking good. Not looking good up. Well, actually they're playing in Tampa, so not looking good in Tampa this year. But what do you have?
I mean, they have no home court, so I got to give them a 1. They've just looked like a dysfunctional team, especially looking back at what they've done in the past 2 years. They've looked like a very good team, and now losing Kawhi is a big thing.
Yeah.
And also losing your centers is a big piece that they did not fill in right. You lose 2 great centers in Ibaka and Marcus Gasol to LA. Both LAs.
Yeah.
And you fill that in with Aaron Baines, Alex Len, and Chris Boucher.
That's just not enough.
Against Embiid, Chris Boucher didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have that firepower in that center spot anymore.
And especially in the East,
everybody.
right? Especially in the East, because you have Celtics just signed Tristan Thompson. He's actually playing really well.
Yeah.
But in the East, you have players like Joel Embiid, right? And you got these bigs that you have to guard, and Kevin Durant, and you got like these tall guys who you're going to need an athletic guy to guard, and Pascal Siakam is not going to be that guy all the time.
Not at all.
So having, and even like bigs, you know, like Drummond or stuff like that, especially if the Celtics are able to pull something off for him.
Yeah.
But you don't have the people to guard that, and that's what Serge Ibaka and Marcus Gasol did to get past Philadelphia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for them to find that big sooner rather than later, because it's not looking good down in Tampa.
And Nick Nurse, he hasn't been himself. Like, you see these droughts on the to Raptors where like gone like 5 minutes without scoring, and a normal coach, like even Billy Donovan or Jim Boylan, even he would call a timeout. But you've got Nick Nurse just letting it go, and that's not something you can do for a team trying to win now. And they also have Kyle Lowry is their only guard because Fred VanVleet, he's a good player. He's a scorer. He's like Kobe White. He's not a passer necessarily. He's more of a scorer. And Kyle Lowry is the only one that can facilitate. So when you see him off the court, they struggle big time.
I would call Fred VanVleet a facilitator. I think he is capable of handling that role. He's just had a rocky start to the season.
Yeah.
He'll pick it up. And again, the Raptors will pick it up at some point. But for now, it's just not looking too good. And I think the main problem is that big spot.
Yeah, that is the big part.
All right, cool. So next we got the hometown Chicago Bulls sitting at 1-3.
We got their first win with these city jerseys on. And it was a lovely sight. I love it. It was awesome. But
so they've been looking. They started iffy, right?
Yeah.
2 really bad losses against you had the Atlanta Hawks, you had the Indiana Pacers, and just didn't look good. Looked really dysfunctional. And then they played the Wizards, and they won. They won, and they looked good.
Even against the Warriors, they looked pretty good. They were just picking it up. You got players playing really well, like Wendell played really well. Laurie played well again.
He had a double-double. Wendell Carter Jr. has a double-double the last 2 games. He had 20 and 9, and he had 10 and 12 in the last game. I think when he plays well, they're going to be able to do it and take games. Larry Markin's also a big piece. He's been battling a calf injury. He re-aggravated it. Hopefully he'll be able to play in the next game.
Yeah.
But overall, they're looking good for our hometown Bulls. So, yeah, we're liking it. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, we have next sitting at 3-1.
I forgot our rankings for the Bulls. I gave them a 4 because I am a little biased, but I think that this gradual greatness that they've been showing, they've gotten better every single game, and that's gonna affect their record in the future. So I see them being a 4.
And again, no training camp, stuff like that. Same thing we talked about with the Wizards struggling. I think it is a good system that Billy Donovan has put in and good stuff that they're working with here in Chicago. But again, it'll take time. I gave them a 5. I do like where things are looking, but again, you can't really give a team that's 1-3 a great rating at the beginning of the year. So next, again, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers sitting at 3-1.
Your ranking surprises me. I gave them a 7. Their main players have been looking legit. They've been Drummond's been looking amazing after that first game where he looked good. He's looking great now. Sexton's been doing great. Garland's picking it up after a poor rookie season. And the only thing that really bothers me is they lost to the Knicks, which if they didn't lose to the Knicks, they'd be 4-0 right now, and I'd probably be giving them a better ranking. But you don't lose to the Knicks. They beat the Bucks, which was actually kind of cool to watch, but you don't lose to the Knicks, even if they beat the Bucks by 20.
I gave them a 3. They haven't exactly played crazy competition as of yet, and I just don't trust the backcourt as of yet. I'm going to need a couple more games to really see how they work together. Probably watching them on a TNT or something like that will kind of help me just see how their offense is flowing. But I really just don't trust their offensive system with 2 guards who definitely should both be playing a point guard type role. I wonder how that's going to work, and so far I guess it's been looking all right. But I definitely don't trust it completely yet. So I'll stick with a 3 for now, and gradually it would go up if they keep up what they're doing.
Hopefully they do. I would like to see the Cavs in the first seed again. Which won't happen.
But I think they're a talented duo. I don't know if they'll always be together, but definitely 2 talented players looking good.
And don't forget about Drummond. He finally beat Embiid. Congrats to him.
Drummond definitely looking good too. They're probably going to get some good trade value for him at the deadline. So that's what they're looking for. You're not going to keep Drummond long term, especially with his contract ending up. So I think a contender like the Celtics, who have a big trade exception, looking to fill that role.
Unless the Cavs are a contender. You can't count them out.
I definitely don't think they're making the playoffs.
I don't either. Hopefully they do. Drummond's amazing.
That would be cool.
Okay, next we got the Bucks. I put them at an 8. What do you put them at?
I gave them a 6. I gave them a 5. I just don't like how this team's looking.
Same as the Bulls.
Drew Holiday. If the rating's based off of what you think they would accomplish this year, right? So the Bulls, I think maybe a playoff team for them, right? But if you're looking at the Bucks, you're thinking at a 1 seed. Exactly. So they're not looking good overall. But we'll see how it goes. Giannis is just not playing well so far this year, and that's
I mean, Drew Holiday and Middleton have been looking pretty good, and they lost to the Knicks by 30. That's why I lowered them down a bit, but I can see them picking it back up at the end, even though Giannis hasn't been great.
Sounds good. All right, now heading into the West, we got 4 more teams. We'll start with the Clippers at 3-1. You got.
I gave them an 8
Okay.
because they would be a 10 in my eyes if they didn't lose by 50 to the Mavs. But just losing like that, even with your star player out, is just something that's unacceptable. Even like the Bobcats back in like 2007, they were like the worst team in like history almost. I didn't think that. I don't remember them losing by 50. It's just something that a team doesn't do.
It's a tough game. Like, obviously, I don't think it'll have too much effect on them for the rest of the season.
I agree.
But that's just tough to watch, especially with Paul George shooting not very well. The team just not really clicking, right, without Kawhi in there. Your team should be able to not lose to another team by 50 without your best player. And I think that's it's not necessarily like huge news, but it's definitely important to note that happened.
Yeah.
Right? So you need Kawhi in there, though, clearly, to help things work out. So their offense is very different without him.
But the players have been looking good otherwise, and they beat some good teams like the Lakers, and that's just something that you like to see from a team that had a really disappointing postseason.
Yeah, that's true. All right, diving in, we got the Phoenix Suns. We both got a 9 for this team. Yeah. Really loving the way this team looks.
Great.
This is my NBA League Pass team. Like, if you're going to get NBA League Pass, this is the team you want to watch.
It looks so fluid.
It's so much fun to watch. Chris Paul getting in there, DeAndre Ayton picking rolls. You got Devin Booker coming off of screens because he doesn't always have to be on the ball anymore.
It's so awesome to see.
It's a really fun game to watch. Just the flow of the offense. Monty Williams is great coaching down in Phoenix. It's really fun to watch.
They went 8-0 in the bubble, so I don't see them I don't see a reason why they can't go 72-0 right now.
I hope they could because that's a good team, man, and it's fun to watch. So I'd love to see them deep into the postseason. But I definitely think they can get the top 5 seed in this Western Conference.
They definitely can.
It's a very talented team. Devin Booker's looking really good. Other accusations are looking really good. Jay Crowder's a huge help in there, defensively and just 3-point shooting wise. Yeah. Shooting really well this year again. So they'll be fun to watch.
It's just a well-rounded team. You got DeAndre Ayton being able to spread the floor and be that big, like, nitty-gritty big man that you have, good defender. He's a very great pick, even though you have Luka and Trae Young in that draft, who might have done better on this team because it's Luka and Trae Young. But if DeAndre Ayton can prove himself, then it would be nice. Because even last season, he got suspended for, 25 games? That really hit them in the beginning. So they could probably pick it up now.
For sure.
Next, we have the Lakers.
Yep. What'd you give them?
I gave them a 7.
Okay. I gave them an 8, so we're around the same area.
Yeah.
I give them an 8 because the centers have been looking really good. Marcus Gasol's been playing well. Montrezl Harrell's been playing really well off the bench for them. He's their 6th man. Really looking good there. Portland loss was concerning. Anthony Davis was hurt that game, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
LeBron was also iffy, but again, Portland is a good team, so I don't. It was kind of concerning, but again, beginning of the season, new teams, not much. To go off of. So it'll be fun to watch the Lakers definitely this year, for sure.
My problem with them is that Portland loss was just pretty bad, and Marcus Gasol hasn't gotten the amount of touches that I'd see him. He's like really old, but at the same time, you want that volume from him. Yeah, because he's supposed to be one of those big pieces off your bench or that's starting over Montrez. But Montrez has been looking pretty good too.
He's a very good big.
Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, we got the Kings. So. For the Kings, they started 3-1, looking real good offensively, and just looking like a well put together team that's well coached.
But he'll
I
take
gave
that
him
tip in.
Yeah.
Yep. I gave him an 8 because Nuggets haven't been looking too good. Yeah. They're like 1-3 right now. So I don't know where the Nuggets are, and if the Nuggets are bad this year, then that also messes with how good the Kings are, because then you're not beating a good team. Yeah. And then you're just beating the Suns one time, barely. For sure. So then you don't know where that's going to be. But either way, the Nuggets are normally a top offense. So are the Suns. So you got to give them credit.
I really like what these Kings are doing. Again, the Nuggets are a talented team. They'll figure it out as long as, or just as other teams will figure it out as well. So if the Kings are able to sweep in and get some wins here, they're looking good. And it's not even... just the teams are playing efficiently. They're beating teams. Good scoring, offensively, and good defensive ratings. And their rookies looking amazing. Tyrese Haliburton, he's really balling out. He's the point guard that they kind of was looking for to pair with the De'Aaron Fox. It's a perfect backcourt duo in Sacramento. So it's good that they found him with the 12th pick because he was projected top 5. Bulls could have taken him at number 5 number 4, and a bunch of teams looking for a point guard were looking at him too. So really lucky that he fell to 12, and he's really showing out.
Yeah, free throw percentage is 100%. He's got really nice field goal and 3-point percentage.
He's just got to feel.
50.
He's just got to feel for the game, you know.
Yeah.
So assist wise, his assist to turnover ratio within the last 3 games was 21-3, and the third one was on a last second shot clock violation after a win. So really, it's 21-2. That's really unheard of for a rookie, unheard of for a player in general. So really fun to watch and really looking bright.
It's looking. I'm excited for this Kings team too. It's a lot of surprises this year. We have different teams doing different things that you would hope some teams would do better, but you have some teams doing a lot more than they should have, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's fun to watch. Fun basketball this year.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I mean, other than that, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. We got our new stuff
setup
right here. We got our setup.
I like the Bulls setup.
Yeah, we got the Bulls stuff going on. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great new year. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya. Can you get Coda over here?
Okay, I got it. She's heavy. Put her on the table.
Man, I was trying to play some Rocket League today. Oh, there's Coda. There's our Coda entrance.
Finally. Hi.
She's kind of scared. Okay, see ya.
Yep.